Hello and welcome to hankgames Without a Hank. My name is John Green, manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys. Today taking on Watford in a surprise top four clash. We are apparently in the glorious future. These are two of the best teams in the entire Premier League. Watford, formerly owned by Elton John, and AFC Wimbledon, sponsored by me. All right. It's going to be a party. It's exciting. I mean, we're away from home against the third best team, I guess, in the Premier League. So I don't hope to win, especially against that handsome lad. Good golly! Today's problem comes from it's pronounced Kara, not Kara. I think Kara. Great. It comes from Kara, who says, "Hi, John. I'm an old." Me too, Kara. Look at me. I mean, look at Mr. Managerinho there. That guy's my avatar. Never seen somebody who looks more like me in my entire life. I have a demanding healthcare job that takes a lot of my mental and emotional bandwidth. I also still love to go to concerts and hang out with friends and draw and play drums and stuff. How does one attain this mythical work-life balance I've heard so much about? I want to rock my job, but also rock out at shows. Help? I don't know how much I can help, Kara, but I'm going to do my best. Is that the same guy, but from a different angle and with different lighting? Because he looks like a different person. Also, the spectators continue to terrify me. Speaking of terrifying, 17-year-old Rafo's in goal. And so far, he hasn't had a great season, but he also hasn't given up many goals. He's been scaring his opponents into missing, which is a fascinating challenge. You can see we only have one major change from our last game. Vinny Thrill has come back into the side. He's going to be playing in right midfield in lieu of Dean Parrott, who is injured and also not very good. And I apologize to the actual real-life Dean Parrott, who I did meet once. He was very nice. But it's not my fault that they made you bad in FIFA. All right. That's a promising start for the. That's really good. Meadsy he's rampaging. Don't know that you needed to go quite back that far, but it's okay. It's okay. Hold on, let's just real quick try to score a goal. See if we can just really quickly score a goal. Pass it to John Green. Shoot! Oh my God, we scored a goal. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? Yes. Yes, you're a birdie. You're flying. You're going through the air. You've scored a goal in the 6th minute. And the Wimbledon fans are just going crazy behind the goal. I mean, Watford is one of our kind of regional rivals, and that is a phenomenal finish. I mean, it's good stuff. Outside of the foot, it's a little bit weird, but you know what? It counts. It all counts. I'm very proud. It's just such a beautiful celebration. And then I like that Vinny Thrill kind of shaved his head because he loves John Green so much. I find that very beautiful and moving. So I don't have great work-life balance, Kara. I work too much. I work at night. I've always worked at night. Like when I had my first job working at Booklist Magazine, I didn't have to work that much. When I wasn't at work, it was pretty much a straightforward 9-to-5 job. But I was writing at the time. I was trying to write a novel that eventually became Looking for Alaska. And then that kind of work strategy of like work all day and then work on other stuff at night has stayed with me. I remember like when I was in my mid-20s, somebody said to me, a good friend said, I feel like you're not very happy because you're working so much. I've been fouled from behind and I've been injured in the process. It's very upsetting. It's very upsetting to be fouled in the box and injured and then be told that I don't get a penalty kick. And now I have to bring on frickin' Trotter again, who did complain despite playing 84 minutes. It's very, I mean, that right midfield position seems absolutely cursed. I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist, but is it possible that Trotter is intentionally... Oh boy, worked out better than expected. Is it possible that Trotter is intentionally making his fellow potential right midfielders injury prone? It's possible. That was a terrible pass. I want to apologize to everybody who's watching. Anyway, this friend was like, "You're miserable because you work so much, and why don't you stop?" And my answer was that I didn't. Oh my God! I'm sorry I haven't been able to move forward in that story, but good, holy snickerdoodles! Wow! I mean, Ball John Green, just a turn and just in off the post, humiliating our opponents. Watford, ostensibly the third best team in the Premier League, absolutely getting their butts handed to them by little AFC Wimbledon. This is beautiful. Maybe I do need to adjust the skill level, but not today. Not today, friends. Today we're going all out. Ball John Green. Oh, that was terrible. I was feeling so good and confident and everything, and then just terrible. Anyway, the end of the story is that I said to my friend that I didn't think the point of life was to be happy, and that I thought the point of life was to be productive. And I did live like that for a long time, pushing myself as hard as I possibly could to be as productive as I possibly could, with this idea that the point of life was not to be happy, but that it was to be like useful or successful or whatever it is that I wanted. I never really examined what I wanted. But I really thought that like happiness was like totally overrated and blah, blah, blah. And now all of that feels so like cringy and embarrassing to me, because happiness is not overrated. Like, having fulfilling, meaningful relationships with people is so much more important in my experience than having professional success. I mean, you want to have enough professional success to feel like you're having a good impact on the world. You want to have enough that you feel like, you don't have to, hopefully you don't have to worry too much about money. But, oh God, it's just so overrated. And having good, meaningful relationships, having really wonderful experiences with people, whether that's rocking out at shows or whatever, like, I just think that's so important. And if you don't prioritize that, it doesn't get done, right? Like, I often say the phrase, "I don't have time for this," usually about like annoying homeowner. I can't believe, I mean, that's got to be a goal kick, right? It is. It's halftime. I say I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for, the HVAC system to go out. I don't have time for whatever problems arise in life. I don't have time for, to see this person or to deal with that person's problem or whatever. And whenever I say that, I or at least lately when I say that, I try to stop myself and say, like, okay, well, what do I have time for? Because why am I not making time in my life for this thing that I need to do? And what am I making a priority instead? And a lot of times the answer is that I'm making a priority of work, even though I understand intellectually that that's not the, like, center of how, wow, what a save from Raffo. That's not the center of how and where I find fulfillment. It's a center of fulfillment for me. It's a place of fulfillment for me, but it's not the central one or the most important one. And so, like, that means that my priorities are messed up if I'm only prioritizing that. And you're surrounded by incentives to prioritize work, right? Like, money is important. We're told that, like, oh my God, it's off the bottom of the post. This is pure panic from Wimbledon right now. We need to take a second. We're told that, making money is extremely important, which it is, but it's not the only important thing. We're told that, being economically productive is extremely important, especially in a capitalist economy, which, again, it is, but it's not the only important thing. Ball John Green! Oh. And there aren't a lot of, there's not a lot out there telling us that, for instance, prioritizing our relationships is the most important thing. But I think it is in some ways. So anyway, I don't have great work-life balance. I cannot give you any advice that is honest because my work-life balance is bad, except that what tends to happen, in my experience anyway, is what you tend to prioritize. Like, the things that tend to occur, the things that tend to get done are the things that you prioritize. And if you don't make space in your life for relational stuff, you're not going to have it. And that's going to be a bummer. Now, Kara, it sounds like you work in healthcare, specifically because you told me that. And I think that can also be really difficult because you feel a responsibility to your patients. You feel a responsibility to the people that you're serving. And it's, as you say, like a really emotionally draining job. Like it takes a lot of yourself to be with people and to work with people, to serve people who are in distress, who are in need, who are sick. Like that's emotionally and physically exhausting. You know, a lot of times those jobs involve long shifts, and then you come out of work and you're not really out of work mentally. Like I know when I worked in a hospital, and I wasn't, you know, a proper healthcare worker, I was a chaplain, but when I worked in a hospital, like I would be on call for 24 hours, and then I would come home, and for at least like 8 hours, I would be thinking about the hospital. Like it was very, very hard. I know some people can do it, but like it's very, very hard to leave your work at work when your work is working with people who are really sick. Like it's very hard to like get in the car after a long day and be like, you know, immediately mentally go into a space of like, now I'm taking care of myself and I'm going to like go make some food and I'm going to see friends. And because for, you know, like it just, there's a measure. That was another great save by Raffo. That kid is really developing into something. There's a measure of just, you know, the emotional toll of it that's very real and hard to... Another great save from Raffo. It's very real and hard to deal with. And so I feel like when you're in that situation, you've got to... It may take a little time to... Oh, God! Oh, Raffo! Oh, God, that's entirely my fault. You know what? Take all the time you want celebrating. That guy used to be a Wimbly Wombly, by the way. Take all the time you want celebrating. Go as slow as you'd like because the time is ticking off the clock and I'm winning the game. Rafa, don't get upset. You've had a great game. All right? Everybody just take all the time you need. Correa. I do miss him. He's got great hair. Anyway, we're just going to pass the ball around and see if we can win the game. But when you work in a field like that, if you don't find time for yourself, I think you burn out. Like if you don't find time to do the things you love to do, I think a lot of times you end up not being able to do the work that you love to do. And so it's good for every part of your life to try to make a priority out of spending time with people and being social. Oh God, did that go in? No. Whew. All right, let's just, you know what? This has been a game of two halves. No! Why didn't I kick it long? It doesn't matter. We won the game. It's a game of two halves in which the second half was very bad, but we won the game. By the way, given that this is a made-up video game, do they have to have the overexposed manager shot where, like, the light is in the wrong direction? I don't know. Anyway, Kara, I wish you luck in finding work-life balance. Make it a priority. Understand that that work is not that important. That's what I try to tell myself. All right. Bye. Best wishes.